Evan, is that a bit of justice is served?
Nah, you've got to each game on its merit. I think what it is today is a deserved win, but again, a really difficult game. We certainly had to work for it. We had to dig in at the end, but for me overall, I thought we deserved the win today, and some terrific football. Their keepers had Gordon Banks moment there. He's pulled off an unbelievable save for a header. I think it was Andy Ryan get his head on it. So aye, listen, it doesn't matter now. The game's gone. We've got 3 points. It's a big 3 points, and we now must move on to Tuesday.
And it was right from the whistle. The pressure was on against Edinburgh City. A couple of great chances throughout the game as well. And like you said, the save from the goalkeeper in the second half was quite incredible.
Aye. I mean, it was. I think we had a corner in the first 90 seconds or something as well. So you're right. Listen, the way the boys have responded, because Tuesday was sore. I won't make. I'm not going to make any excuses for it, and I'm not going to lie, sit here and say it wasn't sore, because I didn't sleep much on Tuesday night, getting into Wednesday, and it hurt. It really did cut deep. But the way the boys have responded, and see tactics and formations and everything, that goes out the window when you've got a performance like that today. That was, to a man, and the players were outstanding. Every one of them, and that's what it takes at this time of season. It's about players turning up, and they definitely turned up today.
And I noticed throughout the game there's some new stuff you were trying out with the corners, some short corners as well. That's something you were working on in the training ground?
Well, listen, we've not had a lot of time to work on it, but I'm trying to give the players more ownership, and we're trying to encourage them to think outside the box, and they've got to take responsibility with that as well. Sometimes you've got to be off the cuff and try things and be inventive and imaginative. I was a defender, but I trust these players. They've got fantastic ability, and you can't paint by numbers when you go forward. You're going to have final third. Must be that creative side of you that comes out, and I just want to give them the freedom to express themselves when they get there, and they're doing that, and it's shown. As I say, listen, it's player driven. I said on Thursday night to them, I wouldn't want to be in this battle with any other group. I'm delighted that they're the guys that are at my back, because I'm certainly at theirs, and I'll fight tooth and nail for every single one of them, the way they did today for 90 minutes for each other.
And a great goal just at the end of the first half. Some great play from Andy Ryan, and very unselfish. So I want to cut it back to Dylan.
Aye.
For the great finish.
Aye, it was a terrific goal. I think it started with good play coming across the park and cut us a half volley in behind the defence for Andy. Great movement, as you said, great composure, very unselfish, head up, very aware, with the situation, what was the best option, quality, and Dylan's just not going to miss that. He's, the one thing we all know about Dylan is he's a clinical finisher, and aye, listen, I'm really chuffed with that win, and it puts us in the mix, but that's all it does. So for me, I'll enjoy this for the next half an hour, get an hour maybe on the way home, but it's right on to Queens now. I was at the game last night, and they'll want to bounce back for their first defeat of the season. Of that there's no doubt, and we've got to be ready for that very difficult challenge on Tuesday night.
A couple of knocks towards the end of the second half. How the players doing?
Dylan was precaution. He came off with a wee bit of tightness. David Wilson, unfortunately, he's dislocated a thumb. It was pretty. I didn't see it, but I don't think it was pointing. I don't think it was where a thumb should be. So we'll just have to monitor that. And it's unfortunate, but listen, hopefully he can recover. It certainly won't affect the ability he's got on his feet, so hopefully we'll have him available.
Thanks very much, Evan.
Thanks, Ben. Cheers.